Hey everyone, this is Eric Silvermoon, and I'm really excited to share with you a couple things that I bought on Amazon. As you can tell, the background's a little bit different today. I'm in my dining room, and the reason because it is really hot in my office right now. The sun is starting to set, and it's beaming into my office, and so it's a little bit hot, and so I decided to not wait till tomorrow morning to do this because I'm really excited and I want to go through everything and I want to open everything up already because I can't take it. I'm too excited. Um, I did want to talk about a little bit of what I'm doing. So I bought some stuff on Amazon. It's not really a witchy haul video because they're not really witchy items. They're more things that remind me of my growing up as a Catholic. And this doesn't mean the items I'm going to show you does not mean that I'm going to go back to the Catholic faith, but to kind of backtrack a little bit. So September, I'm so used to September being dedicated this self-love, self-care month. For those that follow the amazing Kellyanne Maddox with the Four Queens. She has her self-love September, and I think this is the second year in a row, and so it just feels natural to dedicate September to self-love. And to me, that means my trying to connect to the inner child work. For those that watched my video that I posted on Wednesday, I did a ladybug candle magic to kind of help me tap into that inner child um, feelings, and I feel right now, like I mentioned in that video, is that I really want to connect to my inner child, and I want to do things that really remind me of when I was younger and the good times, and really connect to things that I haven't done in a really long time, or that things that just made me happy. And so, one of the things that I did buy that has nothing to do with the other things. I had to buy this for myself. If you guys watched the interview that I did with Kellyanne Maddox, we talked about a movie that we both grew up with and that really helped us when it came to being creative and really tapping into the arts when it came into being as witches and how we kind of put ourselves into the paintings of things. And the movie that we mentioned was the movie The Witches. And I couldn't stop thinking of the movie. I knew I didn't have that and own that movie, so I bought it and I found it on Amazon for $4. So yay! It has the amazing Angelica Houston. It's not on Blu-ray. I love buying movies on Blu-ray, but I couldn't help it. I had to get this movie. I absolutely love it. I recommend it. This movie gave me crazy nightmares as a child and as an adult. It's just so good, and I love Angelica Houston so much as an actress, as a person. Um, I will always see her as a Grand High Witch, and I just think she's epic. I honestly feel like if there was like a hierarchy of witches somewhere in this world, Angelica Houston will be the high Grand Witch. And so I definitely recommend you get this movie. $4 on Amazon, you can't go wrong. I love it. And I'll see if you can see the cover a little bit more. It's so good. I love it. So the things that I actually bought, and so let me give you a little bit of history on why I kind of wanted to connect to the Catholic elements. And so to me, my spirituality, I guess is it Catholicism? Is that the way you say it? But when we were Catholic, it was my first exposure to angels. It was my first exposure to um, rituals and altars and candle magic and prayer work and miracle work. I mean, being young in that kind of atmosphere and relying on imagery and saints and all that stuff was so magical. I think that was really where it's just like putting a kid in a candy store and you see all the colors and you go crazy, from the stained glass windows and the art to the architecture of the buildings of the churches. I mean, everything was just so beautiful. And you know, when we switched to Christianity, I was just like, this is boring. Where's all the stuff? You know, this is. I was just so bummed out that I just never resonated with it. And so, um, with going back to how I felt when I was Catholic, I felt very um, creative and imaginative. I daydreamed a lot. I used to pretend that the stained glasses were, you know, trapped souls, and they could I could see them, and I could put myself in it. Which, if you watch the movie The Witches, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But I really resonated with that. I have really great memories of my grandma and I at the Catholic Church, going on Sunday or going walking at late at night and just going into the church and seeing all the red stained glass candles glistening and going into lighting the wick, kneeling down and putting a candle. My grandma telling me, you know, go ahead and do a prayer and do all that stuff. And I remember really not praying. I remember just like thinking about what toy I'm gonna play with when I get home, and I was closing my eyes and stuff like that. And it was just such a cool experience. And so the month of September is going to really allow me to tap into that energy, those memories, and allow myself to kind of refuel and feel fun and vibrant. So I found these really cool books. Well, I found one of the books that I'm going to show you right now at a witchy shop. I'm drinking some water. I found it at a witchy shop, and it was like 25 bucks. And or well, how much was it? Yeah, it was like 20. It was 20 something bucks, and I was just like, oh my god, it's a small book. It's gorgeous. Um, the artwork is amazing in it, but for 20 bucks or so, I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can find it on Amazon. And so I did find it on Amazon, and it was only about 15 bucks or so. And I bought the 3 books that I think there's only 3 books in this series. They're by Chronicle Books, and so I bought all 3 of them. So the first one is called and I apologize about the lighting. It's my dining room light. Can you see it? It's the Little Book of Angels, and it's such a pretty book. And it has the gold lining of the pages. It has a beautiful back. What's cool about this, which you can't really tell, is that the book itself is plushed, like it's like puffed up, and it feels really like soft, like there's cotton in it. And so I love that. All 3 books have it. The inside has this really cool red in it. It has a nice little, almost like a baby blue, almost white kind of bookmark. Oh, it's trying to like refocus. I'm over here. And so what this book is, it's actually by Nicole Mason. It has, just like it has the contents, I don't know if you can see it, but it has a bunch of different stories and like just things. Like this one says, where do angels come from? And it has a beautiful imagery, art, and it has a story or whatever. And this one says how to recognize an angel. And again, it has gorgeous art. And I'm just going to go through the book really quickly. This one says the sex of angels, and it has this really cool artwork. It almost has like a sinister feel to these little cherubs. Like this one's called Sex and Perfection when it comes to angels. And look at that. It just gives me like a Japanese kind of look to it, which I absolutely love. And this one says the angel William Blake, 1757 to 1827. And it's a poem, or I mean, I'm not sure if it's a prayer. And so I'll read this one actually because I'm curious. It says, I dreamt a dream. What can it mean? And that I was a maiden queen, guarded by an angel mild. Midless woe and near beguilt. It's kind of a complicated. And I went both night and day, and he wiped my tears away. And I wept both day and night, and hid from him my heart's delight. So he took his wings and fled. Then the morn blushed rosy red. I dried my tears and armed my fears with 10,000 shields and spears. Soon my angels came again. I was armed, he came in vain, for the time of youth was fled, and gray hairs were on my head. So that's really pretty, and I think what that means is like almost like a guardian angel protecting them from being really young all the way till they're really old, and that's really pretty. Um, it has divine messengers and it has like something with it. So each page has some kind of art on it. The fall of the rebellious angel, and it talks a little bit about it, and it has art next to the page. It's just beautiful. There's a little bit, talks a little bit of some of the saints in here. Um, where did I see it? Saint Raphael, which is the Archangel Raphael, and it has a little bit of story of him. So it's, how many pages is in this? I want to say it's just a mixture of stories, and it's 176 pages. Different stories, poems. Um, this one says Angels in Protestant. I can't even pronounce that. Protestantism. I don't know what it is, but the artwork is stunning. And so the reason I got this book of angels is because I wanted to kind of delve in a little bit more, kind of reconnect with the angelic realm. I've been so busy with work and with just pretty much working and trying to figure things out, that I kind of fell back on my studies and research. And I'm such a scientific kind of witch, an alchemist. I love learning things and experiencing things and making my notes and stuff. And so when I saw that they had a book on the angels, I was so curious just to see the different um, stories and how they show up in different cultures. Like there's like angels and it says the principal angels of Islam, and it's interesting. So I got this book. It's so beautiful. It's like something you will have just like in your bag, in your messenger bag or purse, in your nightstand, and just opening it up and reading something before you go to sleep. It's that kind of feel. Like it just feels beautiful, and so I got that. And then the other one in the series is the Little Book of Mary, and it's the same feeling. It's so pretty. The back's pretty. Again, it's that plush cover, so it's soft. Um, and the inside has these really pretty flowers in it. It has a rose pink bookmark. And this one I want to say might be the same amount of pages. This one's 176. And this is different stories about Mary. Like this is the birth of Mary. I resonate with Mary. Ever since my dad died this year, when he passed away, she came to me and kind of made her presence known before my dad passed away. I think I shared a story about that in one of the previous videos when it was so fresh. I had a vision of Mary, and she came to me and was telling me that everything's okay. He's going to be fine in the aspect that he was going to pass away, and she was going to take care of him. And I just automatically felt a sense of angels, that he is with the angels. He's becoming an angel, an earth angel, in my spiritual tribe. And she said that everything was just going to be very angelic for him because he was such a loving person. He taught me everything I know when it comes to being compassionate and stuff. So it so happened that the hospital that he was in was called God, what's it, Queen of something hospital in Los Angeles. And as soon as I walk in, there's this giant mosaic art piece of the Virgin Mary, and I knew it. I knew that it was just one of those things that I was going to connect to my dad. So it was really important for me to get this, just so I could get a little bit more history or herstory of Mary. Like this one says the adoration of the shepherds, and it just has like artwork, and it's just really beautiful. The suffering of Mary, and it's a really dark picture. Almost reminds me of like the Three of Swords. And it took a really long time for me to be able to look at religious imagery, like the Christian faith kind of way, like images of Jesus. It took a really long time for me to be able to see something like that, and the reason was just because of just how scary it usually is. But now I can see it because I feel very comfortable with my spirituality, that I can look at an image of Mary or Jesus and see just the beauty behind the art and see the pain behind the illustration and what they were trying to invoke in that painting, and not necessarily see it as something religious, if that makes sense. This says the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and it just has this beautiful pictures. And I apologize if it doesn't zoom in or focus. So it just has so many different stories. The Miraculous Medal of the Catherine Laborde. And I guess there's like different forms and different manifestations of Mary in different cultures. She comes in different names. This one says the Little Shepherds of Fatima. And it's beautiful. I just love it. These books have a sense of a book of shadow, like the essence of what a book of shadow, just of history. This one actually says the Magic Candle of the Virgin, and it has a story, and then again it has the. Let me see if I can show you her. There you go. Just the artwork. So really beautiful book. I think this one was also 15. And so I really liked it. I can't wait to read these books and tap into that. One of the other books I got too, let me get some more water. I'm so over summer. It's so hot. Okay, so I've always resonated with the saints. I don't see the saints as the way I see goddess and the way I see, like Aphrodite and those kind of divinities and divine beings. I see saints as almost like a connection to human experiences, if that makes sense. Because there's saints for absolutely everything. I mean, excuse me, if you fall and you skin your knee, there's a saint for that kind of thing. So there's a humor of it, but there's also a beauty of it, because I think at the time there was just such a need to understand things and to just create something so that it makes sense at the time. And some of these are people probably at one point, some of them weren't. It's just one of those things that I love. I'm fascinated by it. And when this is actually the book I saw at the store, and it was about like 20 something dollars, and it's the Little Book of Saints. And again, it's the same kind of from the publishing phase. It has a beautiful artwork as well. The back of it here. This one has these beautiful saints inside of it. It has a big blue bookmark. This was thicker, so it was a little bit more expensive. I want to say I paid 17 bucks for it. It's 192 pages, and it has a bunch of saints in it. Like I want to show you, it starts off, it's from like the letter A, so it's like an index, so it starts from A all the way to Z, and it just puts all the saints in alphabetical order. So the first one is Saint Agatha, patron saint of wet nurses, feast day February the 5th. And that's actually my brother's birthday, my little brother. So it has the artwork again, pretty beautiful. This one is Saint Barbara, patron saint of miners, firework handlers, and firefighters. See, there's a saint for people that want to blow up fireworks, and Saint Barbara. And so it just has, like, look how thick it is too. Like, for the small book, it has all kinds of saints. And so this one is, I feel like I'm only getting the female saints. This is Saint Clare, patron saint of television. Oh no. There's a saint for television. And she's fierce. That's gorgeous. And so I'm not joking. That's his patron saint of television. Feast day, August 11th. So I'm curious to find out what the feast day things is when it comes to something popped on the computer. When it comes to what the reference is. This is St. Francis Borgia, patron saint of earthquake victims. This one's a little bit more morbid, but it's just beautiful. And so it just has great stuff in here. It says Joan of Valois, patron saint of those who lose parents. And this one says Saint Jean, but I guess it has more of Italian pronunciation. Very beautiful. I'm really into this. And so I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to tap into this kind of energy when it comes to not worshiping, I don't like that word, but kind of using them. I'm still trying to work that out. I'm not really sure how I want to use them, but it's not going to be the same way as I see the goddess and how I see my matrons and patrons kind of things. And so I think and the next thing I'm going to show you, it's going to make more sense. So this is St. Lawrence, patron saint of archivists, librarians, cooks, and roasters. So I don't know what roasters means. The image is pretty dark. There's people burning, so I don't know if it's like a celebrity roast or people that like to roast chicken, but there's a saint for it, and he's pretty cool looking. There's Lucy, St. Lucy, patron saint of laborers, and this is just beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. And we'll just go do a little bit more. This is St. Matilda, patron saint of large families, and it's beautiful. I'm kind of getting like the goddess Saradwin in this one. This is beautiful. Saint Mar, patron saint of coal deliverers, boiler makers, and cobblers in Belgium. There's that one. So it's really cool. I like this book. I can't wait to kind of just read and learn a little bit more. Simon the Apostle, patron saint of pit sawyers. I don't know what that is. So yeah, I'm really interested in learning some more. Some of these I've never heard of. St. Thomas, patron saint of architects. It's really interesting. And so I love it. I love these books. And so aren't these just like the collection of them is just like, I'm nerding out. It's just so cute. It's like puppies. I love them. They're so soft and beautiful, and they have such a feminine quality to them. I love them. I can't wait to kind of read them and tap into them. So this is going to be a long video, I'm warning you. The next thing I want to show you, which the reason why I wanted to get the Saint book is because I had my eye on this Oracle deck for not too long, but as soon as I saw it, I fell in love, and so I had to do all the research and watch some reviews and watch the images on Google, and it's stunning. So this is called the Voice of Saints, and it's a 78 deck of saint cards as an oracle deck, and so it has 78 saints, and I'm super excited to use this. It has the Italian part, like it has the Italian pronunciation of the saints, so it's going to sound really cool. It says Las Voces de los Santos in the back, and so it has that really cool authenticity feel to them. I'm not going to open it now because I'm going to do a second video after this one that's going to do more of a show and tell of each card. So I'm really excited. I'm like scratching at it. I already peeled it. I'm peeling it. Oh, it's happening now. I can't help it. I'm sorry. So I won't go through the whole entire card deck, but I want to go through it because I've just been waiting for it. And this is not good because it came in really early and it's really late in the evening, and it's just been in my bag, and I've been like peeking at it to see what's in it. So it has just like a regular generic box. It has a little white book that looks like reading instructions for something, like an IKEA manual, and it has the name of the saint or the card, and it's numbered 1 through 78, and it just has a very short description. Like number 1 is Saint Adalgisius Novaria, and it says, consider the gem of priests, help with meditation, trust, friend, well-established love, generosity. So very, very short description. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like 1, 2, 3, and there's a very short description of the saints. So, I mean, it could possibly come in handy, but I have this, and it is beautiful. So as a reference book, I'm going to see if they're all in here. And this is the backs of it. And so, again, I'm going to open it in the other video because I want to go through it. I don't know what saint this is, but I'm sure it's going to be in here. And there's different languages. And then this is, I think this is just an extra card that comes with it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video so I can go ahead and open it. I'm really excited. But yeah, so the reason I want, so this is kind of how I want to use this Oracle deck. Since it is such an earthy kind of materialistic aspect when it comes to an Oracle deck, because it's so specific to earthly things and the human experience, that's kind of how I want to use it. So if I do a reading with it, and I pull, say, the one that has to do with the earthquakes, a saint for the earthquakes, and see the imagery, whatever I get, whatever I'm feeling, but, you know, what goes with an earthquake? Earthquakes could be chaotic. It could be almost like the Tower card in tarot. It's very hard change. It could be destructive, but it could also symbolize survival, and you know, it could symbolize, you know, a call of action also, that kind of fight or flight kind of aspect of things. So it's really interesting. So that's how I'm going to use it. I'm not going to use it as like, oh, you need to, you know, connect to this saint and you need to tap into this and call this saint for help. That's not how I want to use it, because that's not how I resonate. But I love the idea of using it as just a to help me align myself better. So it's more like, I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more of a powerful reading for a client and for myself, because it's so specific. And so I can't wait to kind of tap in. And I might even go in a different direction. So we might see. It all depends when I start kind of playing with the deck. And so I'm going to end this one so I can go ahead and move my camera around so you can get to see the deck up close. And we're going to experience it together. I'm super excited. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this, I don't know what it is, unboxing or sharing. Like I said, it's not really witchy haul. It's more like, I don't know, stuff haul. So spiritual haul. I'll call it, I'll tag it spiritual haul. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. Blessed be. And I'll see you in the second video that I'll post today. Bye.